Myself, Ketan M. Patel from Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Technical Education and Research Center, Navsari. Electrical Engineering Department. Subject is Testing and Commissioning of Electrical Equipment. 4th year, 8th semester. Chapter number 1, Testing of Transformer, Plant and Equipment. Okay. Now, today's topic is ratio test, polarity test, polarity index and its significance, and drying out procedure. Okay. Now, first of all, ratio test. In previous lecture, we discussed about different types of classification of test on power transformer, like a type test, routine test, special test, and commissioning test. Now, type test, routine test. Difference is type test is performed on a single transformer of one type of conformance and ratings characteristic, while routine test are made on every transformer before it's leave the factory. Okay. Now, ratio test. Ratio test is also called ratiometer or portable transformer method. Okay. So this is a ratio test method. Okay. This transformer under the check process. This is high voltage test lead. This is low voltage test lead, and this is a printer, and this is a 3-phase PTR. Okay. Now this test can be done using a calibrated voltmeter. Okay. But if it is preferable to do it by special ratio testing apparatus called is ratiometer. Okay. This consists of small portable transformer with a fixed primary and secondary winding, have a large number of taps connected to two selector switches. Okay. One is coarse and other is fine, so that any voltage desired could be obtained for direct reading. The HV side of the transformer under test is connected to a low voltage main supply, say 400 or 220 volt, and the induced voltage on the secondary winding is compared with the voltage output of the ratiometer. After ensuring that the two voltages are in opposition, accurate readings are obtained by an ammeter connected between the two windings, so that the circulating current due to the difference in potential may be detected. Ratio test should be connected on every transformer, as any ratio error detected in the windings may then be readily rectified. The permissible tolerance is plus or minus 0.5% of the declared ratio. This test should be connected for position of every tap. Okay. Next. Now, polarity test or polarity of windings. The polarity of winding refers to positive and negative terminals with reference to induced voltage. Consider up to two batteries or two X and Y terminal. Okay. Are negative and terminal like A1 and A2. Here small a1 and small a2. Okay. Connected together, voltage across will be 0. Since the voltage cancel each other, this corresponds to a parallel connections. Okay. When voltage are in the same direction from the common link, the polarity is called subtractive. If, on the other hand, the batteries are connected in reverse X to Y1, the voltage across X1 and Y will be higher than that of the single battery. In alternating currents, similarly, terminology is used with reference to the instantaneous value of voltages into different circuit. Okay. Between the two different transformers connected in parallel, consider the 230 by 30 volt single phase transformer. The primary and secondary wire are supposed to have a same polarity, and the turns in both the windings go around the core in the same direction. The start and end leads are marked in the same way. If X and Y, or A1 or A2, are connected together, the voltage across X and A1 and A2 are connected together, the voltage across is found to be, like example, 230 by minus 30 equal to 200 volt, and polarity is said to be substitutive. If on the other hand the terminal connections are such that the voltage across A2 and A1 is 260 volt, the polarity of the terminals is additive as the voltage 230 and 30 now get added corresponding to the series connections. Okay. Next, now what is polarization index and its significance? Polarization index is nothing but true idea about the quality of insulation. Okay. The ratio of INR 60. INR means insulation resistance. So ratio of INR 60 divided by INR 15 is called polarization index. INR 60 is equal to 60 second reading of polarization index, and INR 15 is equal to 15 second reading of insulation resistance. For large and HV transformer, 10 minute and 1 minute meter reading are taken inserted of the INR 60 and INR 15. Polarization index now gives the true idea about the quality of insulation. Like here is a insulation resistance in terms of mega ohm, and this is time. Okay, a 2500 or 5000 volt motor driven maker is used to measure the insulation resistance. Two readings are after 15 seconds and the other after 60 seconds. The voltage being applied while the value determined for 60 seconds should be higher than for 15 seconds if the materials is sound. The ratio INR 60 divided by INR 15. The polarization index gives the positive indications of the good condition of insulation if it corresponds with the manufacturer test figure. Here the table gives the reference value for a large transformer. Experience shows that the above methods of non-destructive testing gives reliable value of the conditions of insulation, moisture, surface cleanliness, and quality of insulation. It is easy to perform at site also. Perform value of insulation resistance of power transformer in mega ohm. Between HV and ground measurement, the INR 30 degree is 1.34, while INR 60 divided by 15 is 1.2. While LV and ground measurement are 30 degrees Celsius 2.5, 50 degrees Celsius 1.5. While LV and HV between measurement 2.5 at 30 degree and 1.67 at 50 degrees Celsius. Now, insulation resistance at 50 degrees Celsius is less than insulation resistance at 30 degrees Celsius. Insulation resistance 15 refer to 15 second reading of maker, and INR 60 refers to 60 reading of transformer maker. For large transformer and for EHV transformer, INR 60 for INR 10 minute reading and INR 60 for 1 minute reading considered. So PI means polarization index equal to INR 600 by 60 for large power transformer. Okay, so first reading is like a 1 minute, second is like a 10 minute. Okay, so polarization index is greater than equal to 12.5. So final winding temperature is 75 degrees Celsius. Initial winding temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Is normal. Okay, then after the value is increased by time. Now, drying out procedure. In drying out procedure, the different type of equipment can be carried by applying heat by any of the following method. Like first is circulating of hot oil, okay, for oil filled equipment, circulating hot air for air or SF6 gas filled equipment, heating by induction coil, heating by short circuit method, etc. In case of power transformer, the most convenient method is circulation of hot oil through the transformer tank by means of streamline filter. The drying out is improved and accelerated by applications of vacuum to the transformer tank, drying the drying out. First procedure of drying out, heat is applied gradually. Okay, in this characteristic, this is the insulation resistance in mega ohm, and this is oil temperature degree centigrade. Okay, and this is a time. First is the heat is applied, means temperature is, oil temperature is, level is high. Okay, so example like a 30 degree, 50 degree, 60 degree, 100 degree. Okay, when heat is applied gradually by one of the neat methods to maintain steady temperature of the winding and oil of following value, like a top oil temperature not to exceed 85 degrees Celsius, winding temperature not to exceed 95 degrees Celsius. During the drying out period, which extends from a few hours to several days, the following measurements are taken after every one on two meters. Insulation resistance value of 60 second and 15 second mega reading, alternatively 10 minute and 1 minute reading. Winding T operating, oil temperature T of oil temperature bottom. Okay. Time from the beginning of the drying out, the initial resistance value are measured between each winding and earth and also between different windings. The drying out process has three distinct phases described. First is initially the insulation resistance is value fall down, indicating that the moisture is getting released within the insulation. After a few hours, the insulation resistance reach a steady value, indicating that the moisture has been distributed within the winding. This phase lasts for several hours on days, depending upon the size of transformer, amount of moisture, and the insulation resistance. In the final phase, the insulation resistance start value is increasing. Okay, this is the insulation resistance. Indicating that moisture is being expelled from the equipment. So the drying out process is stopped when desired value of hot indication insulation resistance and polarization index are achieved for each winding. Okay, thank you.